Let me start by sharing the most embarrassing moment of my life. So there I was, a sophomore in high school, in the beginning of a new school year. And like most other sophomore guys, I was ready to start the year by doing something extremely important, checking out the new incoming freshman girls. And there was one particular freshman that stood out from the rest. Poison as can be, with a high-powered chest. Sorry. Belle Biv DeVoe moment there. Anyway, we'll call her Shirley. Yes, Shirley, for the sake of protecting her real identity. Now, Shirley was fly, as we used to say in Dayton, Ohio in 1992. Weeks into the new school year, Shirley and I were together. Now, I will admit that Shirley had a bit of a reputation that I found out about after we started going together. Shirley was known in middle school for being a little fast. And I'm not talking about being a part of the track team. She was known to be very sexually active, which would have seemed to be perfect for a hormonal sophomore. I remember having conversations with peers at lunchtime about our relationship. Yo, I heard you going with Shirley. That's nice, man. When you gonna hit that? I would laugh it off or say something to play it off. I would let them know it would be happening real soon. However, the truth of the matter was, I really didn't know how to answer the question when it came up. You see, I was still a virgin at the time. And although we as high school boys are trained to lie about our sexual encounters, which I did a lot, the truth is, at that point, I hadn't had sex and sex had me. Anyway, lo and behold, the time did come. Shirley alluded to us getting some alone time. I responded coolly and let her know that my parents were going to be out of the house on Friday night and that she could come over. We made the plans, and we were set to experience something unforgettable. It was Friday night. Shirley came over my house, and no one was home. Shirley and I started kissing, which is pretty much the furthest that I had been with any female at that point. As we were kissing, she was undressing. As a matter of fact, I remember when she took off her bra. Whew, it was the first time I had ever seen real-life breasts in person. Fellas, do you remember Randy Macho Man Savage from the WWF? Do you remember the song they played when he came to the ring? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, that was the song that was playing in my head as her breasts were coming out of that bra. I remember thinking, wow, they look way better in person than they do on TV. They're so soft. This is awesome. She was topless. Then before I knew it, she was completely naked. She was lying there before me on the bed, booty butt naked, just waiting for me. So I undressed and continued to kiss her. But there was one problem. I couldn't come to attention. I couldn't seem to salute. Look, I couldn't get erect. What? What is going on? I had never experienced erectile dysfunction before, certainly not at the hormonal age of 15. Why was this happening of all times? I was trying everything. I was grimacing my face as if I were going to be able to conjure up some type of brain power that would send a message to my penis. Look, I even prayed. Yes, I was praying, God, please let me finish this mission and I will get with you about forgiveness a little later. But nothing was happening. And then it happened. I remember during all of this, everything came to a screeching and dramatic halt when I heard a small yet very distinct noise. She snickered. At that moment, I knew that my life as a professional high school student was officially over. That snicker could have been its own language. That snicker said so much in such little time. It said, I can't believe you can't get it up. It said, is something wrong with you? And here's the worst thing it said. It said, wait until I tell all my friends.